a room and says very little. They don't fight to be heard. They don't rush to correct. They don't perform. And yet, when they do speak, something shifts, because every word they release was chosen, and everything they withheld was chosen too. Most people spend their entire lives mistaking this silence for weakness, for timidity, for having nothing to say. But what if the truth is the exact opposite? What if the most intelligent minds alive have simply run the numbers, and discovered that most conversations aren't worth the cost of entering them? What if silence isn't the absence of power, but the purest expression of it? The next few minutes are going to show you exactly why the highest levels of intelligence don't compete for noise. They protect something far more valuable than being heard. They protect themselves. Number 1, they know that the moment you feel the urge to prove yourself, you have already handed your power to someone who didn't deserve it. Number 2, they realize that most conversations aren't exchanges of ideas, they are battlegrounds for unhealed egos looking for somewhere to bleed. Number 3, they understand that silence, used with intention, communicates more authority than 1,000 carefully constructed arguments ever could. Number 4, they know that not every question deserves an answer, and not every provocation deserves a response. Discernment is the beginning of wisdom. Number 5, they realize that the need to be understood by everyone is the fastest route to being controlled by anyone. Number 6, they understand that a person who has never questioned their own beliefs cannot be reasoned with, only outlasted. Number 7, they know that explaining yourself to someone who has already decided who you are is not communication, it is performance for an undeserving audience. Number 8, they realize that intelligence without emotional discipline is just cleverness, and cleverness in the wrong room becomes a liability. Number 9, they understand that the most dangerous person in any environment is not the loudest, it is the one who has mastered the art of strategic stillness. Number 10, they know that every second spent defending their reputation to the wrong person is a second stolen from building something the right people will one day admire. Number 11, they realize that most people argue not to find truth, but to feel powerful, and walking away denies them the very fuel they came to collect. Number 12, they understand that emotional unavailability and inner peace are not the same thing, one is a wound, the other is an achievement. Number 13, they know that the version of you that needs to win every argument is the version of you that is still afraid. Number 14, they realize that maturity is not the ability to speak wisely, it is the discipline to remain silent when speaking would only serve your ego. Number 15, they understand that a mind that is constantly reacting is a mind that is being controlled by whatever surrounds it. Number 16, they know that the quality of your silence reveals more about your character than the quality of your loudest moment ever will. Number 17, they realize that most people's anger is not about you, it is autobiography, and you are simply the nearest page. Number 18, they understand that the person who needs to dominate every conversation is communicating one thing clearly, they have never learned to sit with themselves. Number 19, they know that protecting your inner world from unnecessary noise is not arrogance, it is the highest form of self-preservation available to a thinking mind. Number 20, they realize that being misunderstood by shallow people is not a problem to be solved, it is a natural consequence of operating at a depth they cannot access. Number 21, they understand that you will never logic someone out of a position they didn't logic themselves into, and wisdom is knowing when to stop trying. Number 22, they know that the moment you start explaining your worth to someone, you have already underestimated it. Number 23, they realize that consistency in silence is more intimidating to unstable minds than any confrontation could ever be. Number 24, they understand that the world will always have more noise than signal, and the rare skill is knowing, instantly, which one you are listening to. Number 25, they know that walking away from conflict is not retreat, it is the conscious refusal to let someone else's chaos become your emergency. Number 26. They realize that investing emotional energy into people who have not earned it is not generosity, it is a slow, invisible form of self-destruction. Number 27. They understand that a person who has mastered their own silence has also mastered the ability to hear what others are not saying. Number 28. They know that the crowd is almost always moving in the wrong direction, and intelligence is the quiet willingness to stand still while everyone rushes past. Number 29. They realize that their focus is not just a resource, it is their most irreplaceable asset, and anyone attempting to drain it is attempting to rob them of their future. Number 30. They understand that the people who trigger you the most are rarely the most important, they are simply the loudest, and loudness has never been a measure of significance. Number 31. They know that dignity is not something you defend in the moment, it is something you build over years through the decisions no one else sees you make. Number 32. They realize that apologizing for who you are to someone who cannot comprehend your depth is like translating a masterpiece into a language that has no words for art. Number 33. They understand that the higher your awareness rises, the fewer people will occupy your inner circle, and they have made peace with that mathematics. Number 34. They know that the person who cannot tolerate silence is the person who cannot tolerate their own thoughts, and that is not your burden to carry. Number 35. They realize that true confidence does not announce itself, defend itself, or seek recognition, it simply exists, undisturbed, beneath the surface. Number 36. They understand that arguing with certainty, when you possess real knowledge, is like turning on a flashlight to argue with the dark, unnecessary. Number 37. They know that the loudest proclamations of strength are almost always the most transparent confessions of insecurity. Number 38. They realize that some doors should remain closed, not because they lack the key, but because they have outgrown the room on the other side. Number 39. They understand that a controlled tongue in a volatile moment is a display of power so rare that most people will mistake it for weakness until it is far too late. Number 40. They know that not engaging is not the same as not knowing, and their silence is frequently the most informed position in the room. Number 41. They realize that the opinions of people who have never invested in understanding you carry no legitimate weight in the court of your self-perception. Number 42. They understand that the mind that is always in argument is never in creation, and they have chosen, without hesitation, which one matters more. Number 43. They know that wisdom is not the accumulation of correct answers, it is the discernment to know which questions are not worth answering at all. Number 44. They realize that every moment spent in unnecessary conflict is a withdrawal from the account of the life they are trying to build. Number 45. They understand that the most evolved response to disrespect is not retaliation, it is indifference so complete that it renders the disrespect meaningless. Number 46. They know that a person who uses your silence against you has revealed something far more important about themselves than anything you could have exposed by speaking. Number 47. They realize that protecting their peace is not a passive act, it is a daily, deliberate, disciplined practice that most people are too undisciplined to maintain. Number 48. They understand that they are not responsible for how others interpret their silence, they are only responsible for the clarity of their own intentions. Number 49. They know that the world doesn't need more noise, it needs more people who have the courage to think deeply before they speak, and the strength to sometimes never speak at all. Number 50. They realize that the greatest statement a brilliant mind can make in a world addicted to reaction is simply this: I am too busy building something meaningful to defend something temporary. Here is what all of this comes down to. The most intelligent people alive are not silent because they have nothing to say. They are silent because they understand something that the noise never will, that every word is a choice, every reaction is a transfer of energy, and every argument entered is a price paid from a limited account. They have stopped spending themselves on things that cannot grow them. They have stopped performing their worth for audiences who aren't qualified to judge it. They have stopped treating every conflict as a call to war, and started treating their own mind as the most sacred territory they will ever be asked to protect. This is not coldness. This is not superiority. This is the quiet, earned, unshakable result of a mind that has finally decided what it is, and no longer needs the world's permission to remain it. The silence you hear from truly intelligent people is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is completion. And if you have ever felt the pull toward that kind of peace, the kind that doesn't need to be proved or defended or explained, then you already know, somewhere beneath the noise, exactly what they know.